Hi, and welcome to my gameplay video for Pop-Up Dungeon. I am Icon, and I was very happy to find this jewel when I opened up the shops lately. As a hardcore pen and paper fan, strategy gaming and combat fan, this game just was a must-have, and this video is dedicated to all the people who are wondering if the game is for them, all you who want to check out is this game worthwhile for me, what does it do. This video is dedicated to answer all these questions. So I'm going to pick up a little game in the mode which is called Endless Run, which basically just lasts as long as I last. We have 5 party slots. Down here you see which people you can bring. I brought up a very generic party of a warrior, a paladin, a wizard and a cleric. Basically well-rounded. I could bring a 5th person if I want to, but I won't, because the game scales the threats to your party size, so I don't need to push it too far if I don't want to manage more people. I could only play with 3 if I want to. So we're going to start that run here, and during that run I'm going to explain how the game works and why it is hooking me up so hard that I want to play it non-stop, and yeah, let's get going. But before we do so, check out my channel. You find plenty of other videos there all around base building, strategy gaming and all the good things. And if you find something you like there, just leave a subscription and you won't miss any future content. So let's get started. So level 1 here, the endless mode features always just a location where the fight will start. We get the starship environment, and we're going to get in here. And this is this will show why the game is named Pop-Up Dungeon after all. So we're going to get in there. And now we enter the actual pop-up dungeon. So I have here control over my character. We see here we are in the insides of a spaceship. That's a wonderful thing about this game. It has the sandbox environment to realize fantasy, urban fantasy, sci-fi, and all the environments you can dream of. So here the game works like this. Now I start exploring the area, and the game's called Pop-Up Dungeon because, well, it should be quite obvious now. So you can destroy all the props that are standing around here, and we can zoom in as much as we want to, and so yeah, here. And the goal now is to find the combats inside here and find other valuable things that might be hidden in here, because all the props here, you see here on one of those beds lies a gold coin. You can't find valuables if you scan the environments here well enough. So obviously our adventuring party is sent through some weird time machine and has to face some cyber demons. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure our friends' weapons will work surely as well. And all of this is procedurally generated, you know, that's all randomized content that just gets cooked up while I'm playing, and it is every time a little bit different. So the enemies are sitting in the whole deck, and now the game goes into the encounter phase. Here the encounter phase starts with all the animals are getting set up, and you can see their wonderful models like this. And now we are in the deployment phase. Here I can pick my people and set them on the green tiles where I want them to have. Here you see the acting order of units, and you can look up the enemy units like that. You get a very detailed readout. Floating fat man. Oh man. You see, this game is all about a lot of old school things, and it's very humorous and in a very good way. So it got all the good stuff. So we see here what the enemies can do. We see the Space Lincoln is having these skills. They don't make any sense to you when you're new to the game, so don't be worried about that. The most wonderful part about this game is you don't get punished too hard for losing. You can explore freely and retry, because this is a roguelite and it's hard. So every time you retry something, you get better out of it. So I placed my people inside here. Probably not the smartest choice, because honestly, I'm quite new to this game myself, and I don't know how we're going to fare against these enemies. So let's start the battle. I know that Orin acts first, so you see here his actions. Lightning Bolt has a 1 to 5 range, requires no line of sight, that does the green circle tell me, unlike the red circle, which requires a line of sight, and does the amount of lightning damage depicted down here. Needs 3 action points. We see the action points right here, the blue ones, and the green ones are movement points. So let's zap the Space Linkle, because he's going to act next, and see if I can kill him right away with that. So there we go, and Space Lincoln is gone. And now I have one more Frostbolt open, so let's use that and toss that towards this dude here. So we didn't kill him off, but we debuffed his mobility, and if you're unsure, you can just right click and check out what mobility does. Everything is very, very well hyperlinked, and it's really fun to learn how this game works, because it is pretty well documented. It does leave a lot of question marks with me, but they get less and less the more I play, and it's a wonderful feeling. So Magnor has now his turn. He can chop people, he can taunt people, and he has a reaction skill. And that does the following: whenever an enemy moves in his vicinity of a range of 1, he gets a free attack that does damage and reduces mobility. So we're going to chop on that crab lob. Don't kill that thing with it, sadly, but let's use the taunting shout, and maybe I can use it into this direction, and we're going to taunt the flying fat man. Look into my beard. Those quotes are just as epic. So now goes the paladin, lay on hands. This is a skill which also has a limited amount of uses during combat. Sanctuary, well, puts defenses up, and if the paladin has more defenses than his buddy, he'll guard him. But we're going to divine strike down that crab lob.
I walk through the valley. Light guide my hand.
There we go. So there's 3 types of damage. The icons are understandable the longer you play, and now we get to the next one. So Claire doesn't have an offensive skill ready right now, it's still on cooldown. Some skills just start on cooldown. She could shield somebody with some absorbing skill, or there's her Guardian Spirit skill that heals somebody once his HP dropped below 50%. I'm going to leave Claire here because I don't know who's going to get attacked. So Magnor reflected a part of the damage and killed this guy, and the floating fat man is tired, taunted, and has to attack Magnor. One of his skills created the AoE zone here, which does damage, and if we look it up here, it does 233 damage and does reduce the healing we get, so I shouldn't stand in that stuff for a longer period of time. So you can double click skills to use them as well, but take that feature carefully, because your people do really just the next logic thing with their skill if you double click it, and sometimes it's really a bad choice. So we get loot. It's an elemental steeple. The arrows show who's going to get an increase from that, and you also get a direct comparison of these items. So it works like that. This is the full this is the item's level, you get the stats, and yeah, you get the idea. So we're done with loot in here, and let's keep exploring. There's one more combat on this floor, so we're going to proceed through this. And there goes the next encounter. So we got the beach ball bot, the thornet, a crab lob, we know that one, and a trooper. So let's check those guys out. You could prepare every combat very, very carefully with checking out the enemy's skills and their weaknesses and their strengths, and you can put up a very nice strategy, but you can also just rush into it like I do here and most likely succeed with it. That's because the game's difficulty scales up with your own power, which is defined by so-called charms that you get as a reward for these adventures. They provide permanent bonus and are sort of a long-term progression system of this game, because whenever I start a new adventure, my heroes will start from scratch again, so that's your progression loop. So we're going to end our turn here. and probably going to put up the Blessed Bulwark here on Thorian. I can't do it on Magnor because there's no line of sight. The prop here is in the way. You can also destroy props during combat with attacks. You just need to aim a attack towards that. But for now we're going to use Thorian's Divine Strike to hurt that crab lob. And I'm going to start guarding people, but well, yeah. So Thorian increases the defense of other people, increases his defense and guards 46% of the damage that comes towards Claire. That's quite good because he has a shield. It's nice if he tanks the other people. You see here, only a part of the damage reached Claire. The rest went towards Thorian. And what I really love about this game is learning feels very, very intuitive to me. So I'm going to destroy the prop here with that crossbow. So there we go. Just to make some room for me and to show off how to do it. So
Come closer.
She taunted Magnor. Actually, it would be smart to look up what your enemies do before you start the combat, but this video is a quick review, and that's why we go in here pretty unsmart. But the good thing about this game is it is easy to pick up and difficult to master, and that's exactly the way how fun in games can be defined. So we're going to smack down that trooper here, and he had a reaction skill. You see here below the bars of people when they have a reaction skill online, and this shot now stopped Thorian's mobility. He is now a poor mobility, and that increases the maximum amount of movement per turn, and that's why he can't attack the trooper anymore. So
My path is righteous.
the complexity of this game increases with the amount of available skills on the enemies, and the game increases the amount of skills available on the enemies with the increasing difficulty level. So Claire heals Orin, and you see here Thornet is an adept, and if we mouse over that we get great readouts about her role and a lot of interesting things. I'm not going to get too deep into details here because that would also lengthen that video too much. So we're just zapping down those people, and you can also hold down your shift button and speed up the process of the game. Makes the sound go funky as well. And besides that, if you just want to speed up things, it's awesome. You can configure that in the options menu as well. So now we're finished here. We're exiting the level now. And after each level, you get some nice reward like that. This book increases power by 10, which increases effectiveness of nearly all actions you take. You see, everything is really nicely documented and explains itself most of the time quite well. And now goes the next level, and so on. So the difficulty level here is Plastic, which is the lowest difficulty level available in game, but we're not going to proceed here. I just want to show off some other features before I quit the video. So we're ending our run now here. So usually you would get some more rewards. We get a reward screen and a lot of things, but we're not getting any tokens necessary for new charms because I obviously didn't play long enough. The charms are the permanent upgrading system of the game. Let's get over here. So these are the charms my newbie account already acquired. It's things that are giving you some permanent bonuses here. Painted Charm of Damage Reflect increases damage reflect of all party members by 20%. That was the reason why I had damage reflect, even though nobody had that equipped here. We have some healing increase, and obviously the space is limited. You can combine these things with each other. The game writes the recipes about that. So there's a lot of things you can do. And for your long-term progression, this is the vendor machine that gives you the new thingies. It's all really lovely done, and what's most importantly to be showcased at the end of this thing is the creation modus. This game is a sandbox, and you can create pretty much everything. That means all the adventures you want to have you can create them. You can download extra characters from the workshop. And here you see, there's a lot of things already been made. He-Man, Gul'dan. It's and there are things getting added daily at this point, and so that's a wonderful thing about this game. It adds the option for us to create new content as we want. And the best part about that, the game automatically balances those skills depending on their makeup. So you don't need to balance your skills, you just need to think about how you want these skills to work, and then you work around that. So this is very, very nice for content creators as well, because you don't have to worry about the balancing, you have to worry about the creativity. And that's how good content gets along, I think. So that's all I want to say for here. You have several different game moduses available. Story mode, which plays a lot like a multiple choice adventure game with a very neat tactical combat in between. The Wizard's Tower, a 25 stage tower full of story with which is very, very classy written. Gave me a good amount of laughs. And yeah, so if you had your doubts about this game, now you should know a little bit more. I hope I was able to help you, to give you a first impression about this game, and I can only say it's wonderful. It has a development phase of 7 years on its buckle, and you notice that. It's a very well polished game, can only recommend it, and you're going to see more content of in that topic from my side for sure in the future. So, my friends, thanks for watching, and I hope we're going to see each other again soon. Goodbye.